Hey, John McClain, Hall of Fame columnist, joins us on 365 Sports. John, your thoughts about the Jared Goff contract with the Lions?
The Rams gave up on him. Sean McVay didn't want him after they played in the Super Bowl. It was the lowest scoring ever. The Patriots beat the Rams. Wade Phillips did a great coaching job. It worked out great. He gets Matthew Stafford. They win the Super Bowl. Nobody knew how good Goff would be. It helped that they've done a great job of putting weapons around him. But if Jared Goff is worth being the second highest paid quarterback, I can imagine what Dak Prescott is going to get from the Cowboys that will make him the highest paid quarterback.
I'm going to ask you about that in a second, John, but you were up here for Pat Zachary's service. How did all that come out?
Well, it was Saturday, and Jay Black and the people over at Hall of Fame did a tremendous job setting everything up. Pat's son, Josh, and his wife, Ashley, and their 4 kids, they live in Austin. They oversaw everything, and Pat would have been so proud. I saw people that I haven't seen since elementary school at Crestview, at Tennyson Junior High. I'm sorry it was such a sad occasion that brought everybody together, but I know Pat would have gotten a kick out of it, and condolences his sister Lynn, his brother, and his whole family, and all his friends. He's missed by so many people.
John, got some media shakeups going on, or some additions to the NFL lineup. Saw where, obviously Jason Kelce now going to be joining Monday Night Countdown, and unfortunately for the Baylor folks, pushing RG3 out of the way, it appears, in the process. Also starting to learn of, Tom Brady is going to call Cowboys Browns to start off his broadcast career officially there. Any thoughts on just, either one of those guys and how you think they'll do as media members moving forward?
Well, of course, I think Brady's going to do great. A lot of people think he won't. A lot of people thought that covered Troy Aikman, that he would be boring. He would be pablum like he was in interviews. Turned out he's done a tremendous job because he's not afraid to give his opinion when it's negative, but he doesn't cheap shot people. And Troy's earned a lot of respect, and I believe that Brady will too. And this has never been said about Tom Brady, but he's got big shoes to fill because Greg Olson has done an outstanding job. Now he's being demoted to number 2. They knew it was coming. When you're paying a guy $37.5 million a year, he's going to be number 1. As far as RG3 getting booted, he's still going to be on Sports Center. He'll be a lot of times, I'm sure, on College Game Day. He does a terrific job as an analyst. So I can't wait to see Brady, and I can't wait to see Jason Kelce. Boy, when Travis retires, they're going to be going after him as well. There's so many guys so prepared today to go in a career of broadcasting because they've basically been auditioning for most of their career.
John, the schedule's starting to be released. KC and Baltimore, Browns. In fact, that's the game that Brady will do against the Cowboys on a Sunday afternoon. I know that the full release is Thursday, but there's been kind of a sneak peek. Is there anything that's kind of at least initially caught your attention?
No, and there isn't, other than Kansas City gets 2 toughies right off the bat, the Ravens and the Bengals. And Joe Burrow, when he's healthy, they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I remember the Texans beat him at Cincinnati last year. And I think that's the game in which he got hurt. But he's back and raring to go. I can't wait till the schedule comes out because I'm interested, like in the Texans, who they open with, what nationally televised games do they have, when do they play the AFC South, what cold weather games could they be playing. And one of the first things coaches look at, when is the bye week? Because nobody wants it early. Some have to have it. Everybody prefers to have it around the middle. And that's probably the second thing coaches look at after their first game.
John, let's circle back to the Cowboys. And
Paul sounds so excited.
It's frustrating, John, to be a fan of this team.
They win a lot of division titles, are in the playoffs.
And then to cover them as well, and then watch them do these same things for 30 years and not change what they're doing. it seems like everybody else has figured out a way to negotiate with their players that doesn't involve necessarily pushing them into like near holdouts constantly or waiting till the deadline. What is it about Jerry Jones that he will take ideas from all over the league all the time, but when it comes to contract negotiation, they have a tried and true plan for themselves that always ends up this way?
Well, first of all, remember when there was a lot of talk they need to extend Dak Prescott, and they didn't do it. And the longer they waited, the more it cost them. And now the longer they wait, the more it's going to cost them. You know, what if he actually wins a couple of playoff games? Can you imagine what they're going to have to pay him then? They would be really smart to overpay him because they're going to keep him. No matter what fans want him to start over or to promote Trey Lance, that ain't happening. So they need to get it out of the way. They don't need that distraction. And if they don't get him extended before the season, they need to say, Dak's going to say, I'm not talking about it anymore. Jerry, Steven, McCarthy, the players, we're not talking about Dak's contract because it's a distraction. They got enough of distractions just being the Cowboys and answering all the questions about why they choke in the playoffs. And that's why it wouldn't surprise me if while they're out there in training camp, if they don't get the extension done, and then they'll worry about CeeDee Lamb after the season.
John, we were discussing this. College football playoff announced some dates or at least sites in the next 27, 28, 29 with Vegas. What was it, New Orleans or whoever it was. But Dallas is a part of that. Like they're one of those in the 27, 28, 29. When do you think they'll host another Super Bowl?
That is a strange deal because they have the biggest stadium. The league can make the most money, but after the scandal they had on seats, after the bad weather they had, which is not their fault, Atlanta had bad weather 2 Super Bowls, but they told them they'd given them another one. With Jerry Jones's influence around the league, I am stunned they haven't gotten another Super Bowl. I haven't heard speculation on why it is, other than the fact they had a lot of issues when they had the last one. It was little things like staying in Fort Worth and Dallas and then having ice storms when you're trying to get to the other hotel. I remember we're standing outside of AT&T Stadium and the ice broke off the roof and came down and people were like, look out. If they hadn't have heard it and seen it, a lot of media people would have been hurt. And I feel bad for them because it wasn't their fault. But and they will get one at some point. Just don't know when it is. Right now, it seems like the Rams and Chargers have the stadium that's going to get every event it wants.
John, thank you very much. Appreciate your time as always, sir.
Guys, Sick 'em Bears.
Sick 'em Bears. John McClain, Hall of Fame columnist, Baylor alum, Waco Trib alum, and now writing a lot of stuff, columns and much more. We appreciate his time. All right. One note from